Good morning, YouTubers. I'm working on a 1986 Arctic El Tigre 6000. I have a matching pair of these old sleds in. They come in for a pre-season tune-up, and one of them was having trouble with the pull starter. And I just wanted to do a little video on that because it's turning into quite the job. Basically, the problem was the pull starter was failing to return. So, as filthy as the bike was, I just figured the pull starter was loaded up with dirt and it'd be a simple removal and clean up and reinstall. When I got the pull starter off, this was not the case. The pull starter showed odd wear on the pulley and the pull starter itself. And basically I took that in the shop and rebuilt the pull starter. This was actually the pulley that came off the machine. You could see damage here and damage here, which tells me that something was out of round on this situation. And it took me a day or two to figure it out. This is the new pull starter I rebuilt for Mr. Reedhead. It's ready to go. I got everything done. I got a fresh pulley, straighter than that, out of my pulley box, and put on the pull starter, and it did the same thing. It dragged and failed to retract. So now, this leads me to believe that maybe the crankshaft's bent, because something's horribly out of whack on that end of the motor. And I looked and looked, and finally I looked over the back side, and as you can see, this crack right here, you can see that these stator housing bolts have vibrated loose, and the stator housing itself is pulling away from the engine, which is throwing the pull starter out of parallel with the pull starter pulley and crankshaft. So pretty easy fix. Basically, you have to pull the flywheel off, pull the stator off, get to these bolts. I will Loctite them and reinstall them, and boom, done. The only problem is the flywheel will not come off with this cover on. There are two screws, one back here and one way down here, that you simply can't get a tool on. All these screws are impact tight, and you may be able to get something on it, but you can't get the force and the turn. It's just impossible. You need to get the motor near out. I do have one of these motors spare on the bench. I just wanted to be able to show you these. It's this screw and this screw. And as you can see, the flywheel will not clear the water pump pulley. Basically, once this is removed, you can tilt the flywheel a little bit forward and it'll come out. But without this removed, the flywheel will not come off. Can't get the stator off, and you can't get to these bolts. So it's turned out to be a little project turned into a big project. As the rooster says, sometimes you just got to say to yourself, what the hell are we doing here? But it's all just a little bit of work, probably an extra couple hours. I will have to charge Mr. Reedhead for this, because that's a couple hours out of my life. And not the funnest couple hours. I'm confident both these bikes are going to run well. I had these bikes in about 5 years ago. They rolled out here running perfectly. I'm sure once I get this straightened out, they'll tune out just fine. Looking like it's going to be a pretty nice day out here. I'm hoping maybe this afternoon to get the blue R6 out. It's her turn. I take her for a little spin down a new road. I'll share that video later. I thank you for watching.